I was sipping coffee in a London hotel when an unknown number lit up my phone. My wife's voice came through, bright and casual, like she was calling to ask what I wanted for dinner. Hey babe, so I sold the estate. The coffee cup froze halfway to my lips. The estate. 5 generations of my family. The sprawling property my great-grandfather built with his bare hands after surviving the Depression. Worth $9 million minimum. You did what? Relax. She actually laughed. I got $1 million for it. Already in my account. Derek needed it for his startup. Tech stuff really exciting. And honestly, you don't need it as much as he does. Derek, her business associate, who texted her at 2 in the morning. The one who couldn't make eye contact with me at parties. My voice came out eerily calm. Where are you right now? Derek's penthouse. We're celebrating with Dom Perignon. Don't be upset when you get back, okay? Click. I stood there, staring at the Thames through the window, and then something strange happened. A smile crept across my face. Because Natalie had no idea what she'd actually done. My great-grandfather survived 3 divorces and a banking scandal that destroyed half the fortunes in our county. When he passed the estate to me, he'd built protections into an ironclad trust. Conditions Natalie never bothered to read, because she thought legal documents were boring. The property wasn't in both our names. It couldn't be sold without specific trustee authorization. And if anyone attempted fraudulent sale, there was a clause that would freeze every connected account and reverse all transactions immediately. She'd forged my signature and sold property she had 0 legal right to touch. I called my attorney from the airport. Execute Protocol 7. 3 words. That's all it took. Within 2 hours, every joint account was frozen solid. The $1 million she'd wired to Derek reversed and flagged for federal fraud investigation. The buyers who thought they purchased my estate were served with legal notices. Their earnest money trapped in escrow. Meanwhile, Derek threw a massive launch party at the Fairmont. 200 guests, ice sculptures, a 10-piece jazz band, all funded by money they thought they'd stolen from me. I didn't crash the party. I didn't need to. Right in the middle of Natalie's speech about bold entrepreneurship and taking risks, a hotel manager walked onto the stage and whispered something in her ear. Her phone started vibrating like a trapped hornet. Bank alerts, fraud warnings, federal investigation notices. The champagne flute slipped from her fingers and exploded across the marble floor. Then her phone rang on speaker mode, a robotic voice loud enough for the front tables to hear. Due to trust protocol violation, all transferred funds have been frozen pending criminal fraud investigation. The jazz band stopped mid-note. 200 people stared. Derek's face went from confused to purple. What the hell did you do? I was parked across the street in a rental car, watching the entire party collapse through floor-to-ceiling windows. 48 hours later, Natalie was served with a lawsuit. Fraud, forgery, wide fraud, attempted theft of generational assets. The trust itself pressed charges as a separate entity. I didn't even have to lift a finger. In court, they played a recording Natalie had sent Derek 3 days before the sale. He never reads paperwork. I'll sign everything. Move the money fast. By the time his plane lands, we'll be in Barcelona. Trust me, he's a pushover. The judge's expression could have frozen lava. Derek had already fled to somewhere without extradition, leaving Natalie completely alone. The ruling came down like a guillotine. Property transfer nullified. Derek's company assets seized. Natalie's accounts liquidated for legal fees. Her real estate license revoked. Her passport confiscated. The judge looked directly at her and said, "You didn't just attempt to steal a house, ma'am. You destroyed your entire life for absolutely nothing." But here's the part that made me actually laugh out loud. The estate Natalie sold, the one she thought was worth $9 million, wasn't even the main house. It was the old guest cottage on the western edge of the property. The one we use twice a year for overflow guests. Worth maybe $350,000 on a generous day. The real estate, the $9 million masterpiece my great-grandfather built, was still standing untouched behind the oak grove, exactly where it had been for 90 years. She'd sold the wrong building. Natalie never bothered to learn the property. To her, it was just old money-gathering dust. To me, it was everything. 6 months later, I'm standing on the main house veranda, watching the sunset paint the hills gold. New locks on every door. New alarm codes. Perfect silence, except for crickets and wine through the oaks. Natalie's bankrupt and unemployable. Derek's hiding in Southeast Asia. And me? I'm finally free. She thought she was clever enough to steal my legacy. Turns out she wasn't even clever enough to know what she was stealing.